What if I told you guys that out of the entire movie, the entire final battle, the one thing that was the hardest thing to pull off for some reason was this one shot of Shadow Freddy's stupid ear falling on the ground. For whatever reason, we did this shot like 1,000 times and we could not get it right. Hell, I don't even know if I'm satisfied with the final shot we ended up with. Because of that, I have lots of fun bloopers to show you, so please enjoy.
That's how showbiz goes. God damn it.
You want me to do it?
Yeah. Please.
Where are the wires? Or the no wire wires?
Fuck the wires.
Yeah, alright. Fuck.
I'll have it lower.
We're gonna get this. It's a literal coin flip.
Oh, if it was just upright.
Hold on, let me try something. I'm a
Shit,
genius.
the camera's right here.
Ooh, eat this thing.
Don't drop it from too high. Drop it from like right here, because that way it won't roll as much. Drop it like a little further back. Hold it down downwards, yeah. Like no, yeah, like that.
This better be in the blooper reel. God bless it.
Okay. That, you know what?
The next behind the scenes scoop that I want to comment on is this scene where Finn teleports into the final battle area and the Family Guy jingle plays. What happens when the main one finds out? Honey, I'm Finn! When I was editing the part where Finn teleports in and the cloud of smoke appears and he sort of apparates in, for some reason I could not figure out what to do for that. I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do another cloud transition where he just poofs in with a cloud of smoke. So I ended up coming up with this. Honey, I'm Finn! Some of you probably watched that transition and thought it was the most hilarious thing you've ever seen in your life. And while I do admit it was pretty funny, I am glad I cut it. But I do regret it because I exported that, which means I had to pay for that stock footage. So that stupid shark moving in from the shadows transition that wasn't even in the movie costed me $7. This is a small fun thing that got cut. During the scene where Michael's getting burned alive by Finn, there was supposed to be a couple shots where the camera moves around the room while Michael screams in agony, and this is one of the shots I was supposed to include. As you can see, we've got little mystery mini versions of the school gang. Obviously, this is just a fun Easter egg, and I kind of wish I included it because it's cute.
Okay, go.
That's right, boy. No father, no mother, no brother, no bitches. You are alone.
No bitches. Should we look at some of the things I made for this movie? But before we look at plushies and things like that, I just wanted to show you guys something kind of cool. What you're looking at right here are scripts for scenes in the movie. I actually wrote out scripts for pretty much every scene in the movie. There's a couple of them that don't have scripts. But yeah, fat stack of paper right here. We got all the dialogue, everything that was supposed to happen in each scene. A couple things were cut. I just trimmed down some things when we were filming. I also added some things in a couple scenes. But yeah, scripted. The next thing to show you guys, I've got the Froakie card right here. The burnt one from the movie. Just to let you guys know, this card actually was burnt. It was done by the invisible actor, aka the voice and creator of Glitch Creeps in the movie, and the voice of Fredbear. I quickly want to comment on what the deal was with this card in the movie. So what I used this card for in the movie was kind of to symbolize a passage of time. So in the beginning scenes of the movie that this card is featured in, there's not many Pokemon cards on the ground. But towards the end of the movie, when they're all fighting in that big area with all the cards everywhere, and the cards have multiplied all over the ground, it kind of shows that we're now in the future, where everything has grown. I know it's like a weird metaphor or symbolism, but I just kind of thought it was cool to think that the Pokemon cards are like, they're like plants kind of, and they're just growing, and the more there are, the further in time we are. Also, the idea to have this burnt Froakie card to be used as teasers was created by the invisible actor. He also runs the Instagram account that these teasers were posted on, in case anyone was wondering. Now, the first new character that I created for this movie. We're gonna go from smallest to largest. The smallest one is Baby Pete. And what do I say? There's not too much I really need to say about him. It's Pete as a baby, and he's adorable. He's cute. If you're wondering why I chose to make Pete a baby, is because it's funny. And also because I have potential story ideas that we could do in the future with a baby Pete. Next smallest character, in my opinion, is OG Glitch Creeps. If anyone's wondering, this is a new plushie. This is not the same one that was in my old videos. That plushie got destroyed. Ever since then, I had heavily regretted it because I think that Glitch Creeps' original design is still the coolest one. However, this Glitch Creeps is a little different. In the original Glitch Creeps design, he had a controller on his chest, but I never really made a good enough controller. It always just kind of looked like a white blob. So this time I wanted to make the controller look really accurate so you know exactly what it's supposed to be. Also, this Glitch Creeps has a new feature that the old one didn't. He's got an extra eyeball that I like to just stick to his back. It's very, very dusty in there right now. You could swap out his eyes so you can give him different expressions, which is kind of fun. Now he's sad. Now he's happy. Now he's angry. Another thing with new Glitch Creeps is that he has the spot on his back to put wings. I made a couple different versions of the wings. We got these ones, which are like the regular ones. I think they look pretty cool. And then we've got bigger wings, which are just the same ones, but slightly longer, so that they're more prominent in the scene. And then we've also got this, which I didn't end up using in the movie, but it's like this little trail you can put on his back, so when he's moving around, it looks like there's like a glitch trail behind him. But that isn't the only new plushie Glitch Creeps got in this movie, because if you've watched the film, you know we also got the brand new God mode form for Glitch Creeps, dubbed Purgathorn in the movie. If you're wondering why he's called Purgathorn, it's because it's sort of supposed to be like an opposite to his Helltorn form, where that one is based on Hell, this one is based on Purgatory. But that name could also imply that this isn't the final form, so maybe one day Glitch Creeps will upgrade again and keep upgrading until he's just an unstoppable creature. This character was a lot of fun to design. This is sort of something I came up with years ago, but I never really planned to use it in a video. But once I decided that Glitch Creeps was going to be the one to defeat Finn, I was like, oh, I need to give him a final form. I need to give him a really cool, badass, super-powered, ultra insane form that he's going to use to defeat Finn once and for all. This plushie, like the regular one, also has Velcro patches on the back, and that is to connect the wing piece. This is something that I really wanted to get right, and I didn't want them to be floppy, so I used a harder material, and I think it turned out really well, because these wings are really sturdy, and they flap well too. Here's what he looks like with the wings attached. Just a really cool, angelic Glitch Creeps, but also with some badass new knife, arms, and legs. These are kind of supposed to look like pine trees. I kind of wanted it to have this weird, like, Christmassy aesthetic, because he's got, like, the white snow color, and then he's got, like, the Christmassy pine tree arms and legs. Also, I don't usually like to be this obvious about things like this, but I don't know if anyone noticed that Mixie and Glitch Creeps have the same X. That's all I'll say about that. Speaking of Mixie, let's look at the youngsters real quick. Here we've got young Fredbear and young Nightmare. These are not super complicated plushies. I'm sure they're pretty self-explanatory. Fredbear pretty much only had 2 modifications, which was adding the black bow tie and the black hat. If you're wondering why I decided to remove the purple hat and tie, well, 1, it's because I needed to use them for a different custom, and 2, maybe you'll see one day. Young Nightmare is literally just a Freddy plush painted black. I don't like to paint plushies anymore. I feel like it's a cheap way to get them a different color, and they feel all crusty and gross. But this plushie was literally only used in like 20 seconds of footage, and he didn't even talk, so I didn't want to spend too much time. That being said, I think he's cute. I don't know. I like the little fang he has. The trio wouldn't be complete without young Mixie. Here she is, obviously created from a Sanchi Bonnie and painted blue. Mixie is a character I've wanted to do for a long time, at least in terms of making Nightmare and Nightmare's wife and Shadow Freddy and Golden Freddy's mom. However, I wasn't sure who it was going to be. She's definitely a newer addition to the lore, obviously being based on Mixis from FNAF Ruin, but I sort of put my own spin on it. She's got some weird cloak and she's got some glowing gold eyes, clearly more than meets the eye with Mixie. I intentionally didn't do very much with her lore in the actual movie because the movie wasn't about her. It's more about how everyone around her acted while she was there. And so, that being said, that doesn't mean that there isn't story with Mixie that I do hope to tell one day. The splash isn't perfect. I literally just used globs of glue to keep this stuff on, but you never see the back of her in the movie, and that's how I plan to keep it. Now let's look at older Mixie, which is made from a Sanchi Bonnie painted blue. Once again, I'm not a huge fan of painting plushies. I don't think it works very well. Oh, there she goes. And it looks very crusty, but I really needed her to be a character once I wrote her into the script, and I just sort of slapped this together last minute. I do intend on some of these characters being remade if/when I use them again. I might end up making a better Mixie. Maybe I'll just sew it from scratch completely, kind of like I did with the ears. Or I'll find a better way to dye the Sanchi Bonnie plush. We'll see. Because of that, these Mixie plushies might be a one-time use. Who knows? We'll see. Let's take a quick look at our main boy here, Molten Freddy. And more specifically, this is Corrupted Molten Freddy, aka just a more accurate Molten Freddy custom. Over the years, when I was using my Molten Freddy plush and I got better at making plushies, I realized I could have made this plushie look a little better, and so I decided, with the final movie saying goodbye to his character, I would make a plush that I think is a lot better of a custom. I'm really happy with how the actual lines on the face turned out. I feel like they almost look like they're printed onto the plush, kind of like how Funko would do it. I really tried to make it look as neat as possible and have uneven, weird gaps and holes, kind of like the actual Molten Freddy does. I had to use multiple Ennard plushies to make this, so all these legs and everything came from different Ennards. Granted, a couple of them were bootlegs. I also used the eyes from different Ennards and colored them different colors, and then I used the eye from a Funtime Foxy plush twice, and I painted this one green. So there we have it, accurate Molten Freddy. I really like the multiple legs. This one leg though was really annoying while filming. It came off multiple times. I've sewn it back on so many times, but this bootleg Molten Freddy, or this bootleg Ennard body does not like being sewn into, so it would not stay no matter how many times I tried. It was very annoying. One more regular Funko size plushie to talk about is Golden Freddy, specifically past Golden Freddy, who came back from the past to help Finn and ultimately redeem himself. The only customizability of this plush is that he has an eye patch now. Now, I know a lot of you do not like when I destroy expensive plushies, and I totally understand. That being said, it's worth it for the movie, guys. It's worth it for the story. Yes, I really did destroy this plush. His eye was completely cut off, and this eye patch is glued onto him. It is not coming off. This is a permanent custom now. I know it is complete blasphemy to a lot of you to sacrifice a like $200 plush for something like this, but guys, this plush to me is more than just an expensive plush. This is the Golden Freddy I've been using my entire channel in all the videos and Happiest Day Reset, all that. I wanted to give him a proper send-off. I wanted to pay him the respects he deserves as a character, not just as an expensive plush. Now, some of you are probably wondering, why does Golden Freddy have a cut on him? And why is there a cut on the back as well? Because that did not happen in the movie or in Infinity War Part 3. And the answer to that is, unfortunately, that was part of a deleted scene. There was a deleted scene where Golden Freddy got killed and then brought back to life. And it ended up being cut from the movie when I kind of restructured what the movie was meant to be and refined it and made it better. But sadly, I did have to cut that plush in the process. This is the only time that I regret cutting an expensive plush, is when the actual scene doesn't end up in the movie. It kind of was for nothing. But I feel like you can just say it's battle damage or something. It's humanoid Dead Space, bipedal Dead Space, a character that I've wanted to include in the series for a long time. Ever since Dead Space was first conceived as a character, at least in this skeleton frog form, I really wanted to have a form where he was just like a skeleton and could walk around on 2 legs. And so I finally made one. As you can tell, I literally just used one of the regular frog skeletons and modified it a little bit. I added some things, removed some things. I obviously used this fabric to connect all the limbs together. And he's pretty much just like a marionette. He's super floppy, super silly.
Hey guys, it's me, Dead Space. How's it to you, huh?
Now, I kind of wish I did make him posable with wires, but at the same time, I kind of like the floppy Dead Space. I feel like it adds personality. And then, of course, the neck is posable. You can move him however you want. There's a bunch of wires in there to keep it together. And then the jaw can pose, of course. The neck can still come out. To be completely honest with you guys, this was not a planned feature. Even though it was planned that Grave Space would defeat Dead Space by the end and take his place, it was never planned that I would be able to take Dead Space apart. I fully thought I was going to have to destroy this plushie, or this character, in order to do that scene, but thankfully, this neck can come out, and I didn't have to do that. Getting the neck back in is kind of annoying, though. So right now, he's a giraffe. We got giraffe space. Next custom is a big one. We got Fredbear, and more specifically, the punished Fredbear from the end of the movie. Major spoilers here. Once the Fredbear plot was conceived, and I knew what was going to happen to him in the movie, I just knew that I had to have some sort of creepy Two-Face version of Fredbear by the end. It only makes sense for a character as villainous and evil as him to have a horrible, evil-looking look by the end. But the question everyone's been asking, did I destroy a Sanchi Fredbear plush for the movie? Because obviously I'm willing to destroy expensive plushies. I did it with Golden Freddy, I did it with Shadow Freddy. Did I do it with him? Some of you probably have already been able to figure out that no, this is not a Sanchi Fredbear plush. This bow tie is not the same, and this hat is a X-Mart hat, which is the X-Mart hat I used from the small Fredbear plush, if you're wondering. So what is this plushie? The answer is, he is a Sanchi Golden Freddy plush that I just swapped the bow tie and the hat on. So it's still technically an expensive plush that I destroyed, but not nearly as expensive as Fredbear. I do want to be entirely clear, though, that that was not out of the realm of possibility. I would have done it. I would have destroyed a Sanchi Fredbear if I had another one. But I also wasn't going to spend $600 on the second one. But if it was within the budget, I definitely would have. So nobody is safe. Nobody at all. The next custom is one that I've had to keep in a bag ever since I started making it, and since I stopped using it. In fact, I'm actually going to put on gloves before we look at this plush. And I know that probably makes you wonder, Froky, what possibly could be in this bag? What plushie could possibly be in here that it needs to be quarantined inside of a bag unless you're using it in the video? Instead of telling you, why don't I show you? Inside this bag is a character so evil, so gross, that he had to be kept in a bag. Can you tell who he is yet? That's right, it's Finmare. Why is Finmare quarantined to being inside of a bag? Well, the answer is really easy. It's because when I made this plush, I decided it would be a good idea to paint the entire thing black with Sharpie. And I don't know if any of you know what it's like to have something that's completely doused in black Sharpie, but basically the problem is it remains wet forever. It never dries. And so whenever you touch it, you're gonna get black stuff all over your hands, all over up in your fingernails, and it takes forever to remove from you, but for some reason it transfers super easily from the plush onto your hands. Guys, I've literally been holding this plush for like 2 seconds and you can already see black residue appearing on these gloves. I'm so glad I wore gloves, and I'm also not letting this thing touch my white tablecloth. So yeah, this is Finmare. He's the final form of Finn. Evil Finn! I'm Evil Finn and I turned into Nightmare. Look, I don't really know what to say about this plush, alright? This is what he looks like. He's got Velcro on his head to wear his hat. I want to put this thing away. I'm tired of touching it, and I'm scared I'm going to get black stuff all over my other plushies. This is Fredbear, guys. It's Fredbear, and it all will be Fred and all that stuff. Alright, I'm going now. The next group of characters to look at is the entire Afton lineage. So first I'm going to give you guys just a clean sweep of every single one, just going across, looking at all of them, and then I'll look at a couple of them individually, at least the ones that are new to this movie. All the way up to Old Man Consequences, my favorite one. He looks short in this because of the fisheye lens, but he's not that short. Okay, he's a little short. Starting at the beginning, we got Android XB83, aka the beginning of the Afton life cycle. This is him as a full robot. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I feel like I've embraced the cardboardisms of these characters while still making them look like they're meant to be that way. Next one to touch on is Garrett, more specifically Garrett when he is turning purple and about to transition from Garrett to Michael. The head on this one does come off as well, so that we can put on this head, and even the hair does Velcro off as well, just so that it looks a little more Michael-y in the one scene where Molten Freddy puts him back together. But yeah, that's Garrett / Michael. I'm really happy with how this one looks. Oh yeah, I forgot. And then you can also open this up and see his circuit boards inside. Lots of Velcro. Guys, if you're a plush tuber, Velcro's your friend. Use Velcro. It's the best thing ever. I really like these two heads. I don't know if anyone noticed on this one, but this little indent and hole right here was kind of supposed to look like the mask falling apart and turning into Michael's mouth. I don't know if anyone picked up on that, but it was just a fun little side-by-side thing, I guess. I don't know. Next new one I made for this movie is Young Michael. So this is supposed to be what Michael looked like back during Happiest Day and videos like that, where he didn't have any withering, he didn't have any purple spots, he was literally just regular old purple guy. I'm really happy with how this recreation turned out. I will say my one regret with all these purple guys is not making the back of them purple as well. I kind of wish I made them look good from all angles, kind of like William does, but to stay consistent, I just kept him this way, but I do think he looks kind of funny this way. It looks like he has butt cheeks that go all the way up his body. Next up is Michael, the original Michael, the one I've been using in all my videos. Guys, this Michael has been through hell, alright? He's been through so many changes over the years, just like physically. I've added so much and removed so much and done so much damage to him. You can tell he's literally like on his last legs. So thankfully this Michael is retired now. He's no longer going to be used in any videos. I mean, maybe he will one day, but yeah, this is the end of this Michael. He's fallen apart a little bit, but I'm really happy he made it this far because this is the original Michael that I made for Happiest Day Reset, and I think a few videos before that as well, so he's been around for a long time. Next up is Glitch Creeps Michael, aka Possessed Michael. There's not really much to say about this one. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's Michael if he was possessed by Glitch Creeps. He's just completely black and has the little lightning bolt and the eyes. I think it looks cool though. Next up is OG William we got right here. This guy's definitely been through hell. You can tell he's got a hole in his face here right now. These eyepieces keep peeling. I've had to re-glue them like a million times. I'm honestly surprised that his movable eyebrows still work after all these years. He's got the hole in his side of his face. He's got the withering on the side. And then he's also got the red spots, which was supposed to be foreshadowing for Old Man Consequences, but you actually can't see the majority of them in the movie. But there were more on the back of him. I kind of wish I had him progressively get these throughout the movie, but the transition from William to Old Man Consequences is supposed to be a lot longer of a period than Michael to William. So we weren't meant to see this William literally turn into him in the movie. That's gonna happen like years down the line. Also, William's arm broke off numerous times during the filming of Infinity War Part 3 and the final battle. So I kind of just said F it and decided to put some fabric on there so that it'll never come off again. It also makes him more posable, but it is kind of a weird inconsistency and kind of distracts from the rest of the plush. But my personal favorite new purple guy for the movie was Old Man Consequences. This guy was definitely a late addition to the story, but once I came up with the idea, I was like, oh, I have to include that. That's so cool. And so this is William after years and years and years and years and like decades and decades of time traveling. This is what he turns into, is this weird wiry, tangly mess of robot parts and William parts and just wires and junk. So I'm just gonna touch on a few of my favorite parts of him. One of my favorite features is that he has his eyeball, and the eyeball is actually just like hanging off the side from a bunch of wires, but it's supposed to be his William eye. So if you were to like put them together like that, you can form his face again, because it's even got his little eyebrow on top. I really love that. I want to make a version of Old Man Consequences where you can like piece him back together like a transformer and turn him back into William. And then underneath you've got the robot head. I'm really happy with how the robot turned out because it looks like his eye just follows you from whatever angle you're looking. It's because I made it really deep inside the head. I think it looks really good. I also am just a big fan of how these pieces of the head like all mesh together. I think it looks really cool. The body is something I'm also really proud of. If you move aside the actual body piece, you can see that he's still got the same circuit board inside that William, or that Michael and Garrett both had, but now it's kind of crunched and broken to the side and being held together by all these random wires. And then you've got his body piece that kind of sits over the top like a shell. Next up, you've got his leg, which is just kind of off to the side. The other leg is just wires now. And then you've got his one arm that you can move around and pose. I think it looks cool, just kind of hanging it off to the side like that. Yeah, that's what Old Man Consequences looked like. He looks really small on camera. I'm telling you guys, he's not that much smaller. It's just because he's short and he's kind of crouched down. But I guess that's sort of what an old man looks like, right? They kind of, over time, they deteriorate and they lose bone mass and muscle mass and they get shorter and shorter until they're just a little crotchety gremlin like this guy. Here's what the back looks like, just in case anyone's wondering. That's what the back of the heads look like. It's not very pretty from the back. It's just a bunch of glue and wires and pieces of fabric holding everything together, and he's literally just a tangle and tangle of wires. But I think from the front he's actually kind of a coherent design. Like there's some clear intention of what he's supposed to look like. I like his little goggles up here being put up too, and they're all cracked and they're sitting on his forehead. You've also got the strap from his goggles just hanging off the side, and then the strap going along the side here. Yeah, OMC, he's one of my favorite new characters. Now, all these guys are not the only Williams I made for the movie. I actually made these guys as well, however, unfortunately, they didn't make it into the final cut of the movie. From left to right, we've got Stunt Double William. This is literally just supposed to be the regular William that would show up in the movie and kind of just be like another William to help him with the plan. And then we've got this cyborg futuristic William. It's supposed to look like he's some sort of futuristic cyborg. He came from an adventure where they were in like a cyborg gladiator arena or something. And then we've got Old Man William, which is William as a crotchety old man. Now obviously, crotchety old man William did show up in the movie as Old Man Consequences. So a lot of you are wondering, is that why I cut this guy? No, I still think this guy could show up in a video one day. I'd have to change some things about him, like the peg leg being on the wrong side and his old man hair, stuff like that. But I do think he could show up again one day. All three of these guys could. In fact, I have an idea for lots of other Williams I could do, but there was just no room in this movie. If you do want to know where these Williams were originally going to show up in the movie, they were originally supposed to show up in the scene where William, Scraptrap, and Golden Freddy are struggling to figure out what to do because they're stuck in the past, and suddenly a bunch of Williams from different time periods were going to show up and help them. And basically I cut that scene because it just felt like it came out of nowhere and it was adding runtime onto the movie that was already really long. The third biggest plush that I made for this movie is the Blob. And if you've seen the movie, you obviously know this is Molten Freddy's final form. After time traveling way too much and way too often, he transformed into a big blob of wires and parts. Obviously, this is inspired by the one from Security Breach. I guess in Security Breach he's called the Tangle now, but at the time of conceiving this idea and starting this plush, he was called the Blob. This dude is literally just a big lump that I just sewed together random pieces and then glued a bunch of wires and little cords and stuff onto. There really wasn't much rhyme or reason to him. The head is the thing that I put the most thought into. I wanted it to resemble Molten Freddy's classic head more, but I decided to give him 2 eyes this time, kind of to reflect the actual Blob design more and to make it stand out. I also made his teeth a little more sharp and thinner, and he's just got some graying and withering all over him. In the actual movie, the neck of the Blob was a lot longer, but in the movie, the neck gets cut and the head comes off, so I had to re-sew it back on, and now it's a little shorter and a little less posable. All these limbs, by the way, are posable to some degree. They've all got wires inside them. They're not like meant to be posed necessarily. They don't really do anything in the movie, but they can all be turned and bent in whatever way you want. Just for fun, this is what the bottom of the Blob looks like. Yeah, this is the part you're not meant to see on screen. It's literally just like a bunch of crap. The next big plush that I made for the movie is Giant Fan. Guys, this is a plush that I've had for years and I've been tweaking and working on ever since I got it back in like 2018. When I first made this guy, he looked a lot different, and I'm probably putting the behind the scenes images on screen. He used to have completely blacked out eyes, the mouth was completely white, it didn't really have any of the bloody texture or anything, and also he couldn't swivel and move around like a regular shark can. Back then, the plush was literally just one big stiff line that just moved like this. It didn't have any sort of pivoting or anything. So I decided to chop it into pieces and then glue it together by some fabric that literally has nothing between the pieces. They're super stretchy, but that way he can turn his head and you can move him around all the way down to the tail. Now in the movie, his eyeball actually got bitten off and his fin got lasered off by William, so I had to glue these pieces back on with super glue. And I think they look pretty funny, especially now that this is covered in blood. He's just like forever wounded. This thing is giant. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but here's the Blob compared to him. They're very similar size, but the shark is just longer. If any of you are wondering what I made this guy out of, I actually used this skeleton shark prop that you can buy from Spirit Halloween. It's sort of similar to the Dead Space props, except it's literally just a shark skull. I kind of wish that I had a regular skeleton shark one that's just a full shark instead of just the jaw, but the one I ended up using I think worked really well. Also, you can open his mouth really wide. I think it looks really cool. But obviously neither of those compare to the ginormous new character of the series, Gravespace. So I have a lot of fun things to share about Gravespace. Back in the day, back before Happiest Day Reset, back before FNAF 6 Plush in general, or at least when FNAF 6 Plush was first starting, I had the idea for Dead Space of a character, this weird void, this weird omniscient being who is above all. And would you guys believe me if I told you that back then, Dead Space was supposed to be this? This was Dead Space back in the day, a giant, creepy, froaky, dead monster. What I'm trying to say is that this guy comes before Dead Space. It comes before a lot of things in the series in terms of what I plan to do. I wish I had the original drawing, but back in like 7th grade, I drew Dead Space, or well, what he became to be known as Gravespace, in one of my science journals during class. I just drew this really creepy, giant, lanky skeleton froaky monster that pretty much looked exactly like this guy. I really didn't change very much in the final design. I sadly don't have the drawing anymore, but I believe if you go back to that old video I did where I just showed a bunch of my random sketches in one of my notebooks, I believe some of those original drawings were in that video of Gravespace. Let's talk about his design really quick. So there's a few things I want to note. First of all, if you've been following this channel for a long time and you've been seeing the hints of Gravespace in older videos, you probably saw that he was supposed to have 4 arms. I actually did intend for him to have 4 arms pretty much until the end of the production of this movie. I just couldn't figure out a way to attach and use 4 arms and actually make it look natural. I feel like it was already hard enough to make these arms move and have them not just look like big floppy pieces. Also, I have to comment on this really quick. If you're wondering what this is literally supposed to be a spine. It's supposed to be like he's this big floating creature and he's just got like this metal spine dangling out of his body. I know what it looks like. It's not what you think, okay? You've also probably noticed that Gravespace's eye socket is completely empty right now. And that is because I made it so that you can swap his eyes. So this is the original Gravespace eye. If you're wondering what this is and why it looks so scruffy, it was literally just a failed attempt at making a Foxy eye that I was going to use in one of my cosplays. But because it ended up being kind of goopy and the paint didn't really set very well, and I ended up scratching up the front of it by accident, I ended up just using it for Gravespace. That being said, Gravespace's eye was originally meant to be purple. Here's what the eye looks like inside the eye socket. Now if you go to the back of his head, there's a little hole where this wire comes out, and you can move his eyeball around, make it look like he's looking around the place, all creepy. Here's Gravespace with the black eye with the purple iris, which was originally supposed to be his eye color. If you guys are curious to know why Gravespace switched eyes in the story, it was supposed to be representing that now that he's taken over the void, he gets the weird black glitchy purple eye that Dead Space had all throughout the movie. And once Dead Space was sort of dethroned, now Gravespace gets that eye and he's the one in charge. I'll also just answer a quick question that I've gotten a lot, or at least I've seen some confusion on exactly what Gravespace is in the story. Gravespace was basically supposed to be Dead Space's alter ego, his other half, the more evil, sadistic version of Dead Space that existed deep within the void. Now, Gravespace is also sort of a newborn. He's only existed for a day or two, and he just recently came into power once he started learning about everything that happened to him when he was a human. You see, the central idea of the plot was that when Damien Simmons died and became Dead Space, he sort of split into two souls. He became Gravespace and Dead Space. And for a long time, Dead Space was the only one in charge. But once Dead Space realized there was this evil monster version of him that existed out there, he knew that he had to keep what happened to him a secret, because he thought that if Gravespace found out what happened to Damien, aka him, that he would be really mad and he would start wreaking havoc on Froakie World. That's why Dead Space decided to hide everything from his old house in this chest, hoping he could keep it from Gravespace. But of course, by the end of the movie, Gravespace gets a hold of the chest and gets flooded with all the memories of everything that happened to him when he was a human, and now he wants nothing more than to get revenge on William Afton. One more fun thing with Gravespace design is his mouth. It opens very wide. I filled it with all sorts of glue, and I even tried painting it a little bit to make it look super gooey and saliva-y and nasty. Also, you can probably see that rope tied to the back. The rope is actually what partially holds his head in place. It is attached by one piece of fabric that's glued on, but you've also got the rope that holds the body and head together. That way the head doesn't fold forward too much when he's leaning. If you're wondering, this is what Gravespace looks like compared to a plushie. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention. If you guys saw Gravespace's rare screen card, you saw that his form was marked as adolescent, which could maybe imply that this isn't what he's really meant to look like. Or maybe this is only him as a baby.
The following scenes were fully edited scenes that were completely cut from the movie. Before and after each scene, I'll give you a little bit of context of what they were and why they were cut. It should go without saying, but these scenes are no longer canon. This is a scene that was actually filmed and edited during the Infinity War Part 3 era and was meant to be in that movie. However, I ended up cutting it from that and intended to put it in the final battle, but it also got cut from that too. Please enjoy.
Sir?
It didn't fully work.
I'm partially restored. I definitely feel better, but it's not the same. I'm gonna need something more, but that may not work. This may not work. They're never gonna accept me now.
Senor, accept you for what?
Yeah, dude. What are you talking about?
You guys don't understand. For years, I've been living in the shadows. This universe. This place. This is my home, but the place, Frogi World, is the place I want to make my home.
What are you talking about, man?
I've been trying to make the people of Frogi World trust me. I've been trying for so long. I even took their worst enemy, Golden Freddy, and locked him in a dimension made as a prison. And yet, they still look at me like some sort of monster. And maybe I brought it upon myself. Taking on terrifying forms, seeking out quests that people would only see as insane. But, in the end, I just wanted friends.
Well, dude, I guess it sucks to suck.
Joseph! Sir, maybe there's still a way you can make them like you. Even if it was all a big misunderstanding, you know?
No, there's no way. I just keep making my situation worse. I mean, look around. I've kidnapped all these people only to find some birds just for my selfish indulgence. I thought if I restored my old form and my power, I thought I'd be able to go stop Finn.
Yar, laddie, who be Finn?
No, I guess I never really told you. I was too busy worried about myself. Finn is a shark, and he's a tyrant. He's taken over Frogi World. Everyone there is dying, people are in peril, and there's really no one that could stop him. I just thought maybe, if I stopped him, just like I stopped Golden Freddy, maybe they would finally trust me.
Hey, listen, man. We understand, okay? You clearly have good in your heart.
Doesn't matter if you understand. They will never understand. I've terrorized them for so long, even if I didn't mean it.
Everything can be undone. Anyone can be a good guy if they try.
Yeah, he's right. We believe in you. You can be a good person if you try.
Thanks, but
No buts. You are gonna go stop that shark.
I can't. I'm just one person. I mean, hell, it would take an army.
I mean, I don't know about you, dude, but it looks like you got an army right here, man.
Well, you're right. But it wouldn't be right of me to drag you all into this.
God, I can't believe I'm saying this, but... I'm with you, Glitch Man.
What? Shaman, what are you talking about?
Listen, Jirachi, this guy may have had bad intentions, but in the long run, they were for a good cause.
Well, yeah, but...
And even if that good cause had to sacrifice the energy of a few birds, then I'm with him, alright? For the good of Frogi World.
You're right. Lolbet is in Frogi World, and he created us. We owe it to him to help.
Guys, you really mean it?
Yeah, we're with you, Glitch Creeps.
That settles it. I'm gonna kill Finn. Who's with me?
Well, my gang's in, right, guys?
Well, hell to the yeah.
Si, senor.
TR, count me in.
I'll go too. I've gotten pretty invested in this story, I won't lie.
I'll go if it means less time of Cody being weird with his Ken doll. Yeah, alright, me too, dude. Happy day!
Alright. Everyone who is with me, let's roll out. We got no time to spare.
Alrighty. Come on, Foxy.
TR.
Hey, senors, wake up!
Meow. Whatever, dude. I guess Cody really is still being weird. I know, Joseph.
Wait, are you guys not coming too?
Oh, Mamma Mia, how do I say this? Listen, Cody, is that your name? I don't really care about all this stuff that's happening. I mean, I just kind of got here against my will, and I would just like to go home back to my universe if I could, please.
Okay. I guess you can just leave. I'm sure Glitchman wouldn't mind if you used his world hopper. But that puts you guys on bird duty. I mean, someone has to untie these guys and free them, so Good luck with that.
What? A bird duty? Oh, come on!
Don't be such a whiner, tomato head.
Shut up! No one likes your food, the beef boss.
No one likes you, ugly.
Dear God, I hate my life.
The reason this scene was cut was, well, first of all, it had a lot of random characters that really had nothing to do with the main central plot, and I kind of wanted to stray away from including all these side characters and making the movie unnecessarily long. And also, it kind of just rambled on for way longer than it needed to. It set up Glitch Creeps' arc, but his arc ended up being perfectly understood in the actual movie itself, and so really none of this needed to be said. I also just think having the SML characters and stuff like that was just total slop and unnecessary. Like, why was Cody from SML the one to help Glitch Creeps overcome his, like, self-worth issue? It's just so stupid. I had to cut it. I'm sorry. And it should go without saying that this scene was just so low quality compared to what the actual movie ended up being. I guess that's what happens when you had 5 extra years to work on a movie and learn filmmaking, is that you really refine down your craft and make things a lot better than they used to be. The next scene you're about to watch is actually the cut intro for the final battle. This is what the intro was supposed to be in the final battle, and I made this scene about 1.5 years into creating the movie. However, it ended up becoming outdated quick. You'll probably understand why. The next 2 very short cutscenes were the actual intros for Mystery Week, back when Mystery Week was supposed to be a thing. Please enjoy. The first intro you saw, the animated one, is the one I created back when Mystery Week was actually supposed to be a thing, and you can actually see a couple hints of random videos and lore I was going to try to do back then. All that stuff is cut content now, and it doesn't mean anything, so don't think too deep into it or think any of it's hints. And the second one, the shorter one that's just like the logo, is one I was actually going to use this year for Mystery Week when the final battle actually released. However, I didn't really feel like it was actually Mystery Week. It was more like a teaser week with a couple random videos, so I ended up cutting that too. Now, the big scenes that were cut. I was actually hesitant on including these in the video because I was kind of worried about people seeing my early drafts and ideas for the final battle. I've always been worried that what if people don't like the final product and they actually think that the original scenes were a better story. However, after you watch these scenes, I'm going to explain to you why I ended up cutting them and why what we actually got in the movie is a much better movie and much better plot. So the context you need for the following scenes are just this. Just assume that Michael has died, William has died, Golden Freddy has died, Shadow Freddy has died, and Glitch Creeps can just go into the afterlife for some reason. That's all you need to know for these scenes.
Oh my god.
This place got trashed.
Well, come on. My dad's in there somewhere. We gotta help him. Dad, are you in here? He's gotta be around here.
Quit your yapping, kid. I'm sure he's fine. He had the infinity hat after all. The hat. Where is it?
What the hell is that?
Darlbot. This must be what caused the explosion. This means he's nearby. Finn's around here.
Then we have to keep looking. Come on. His tail! It's his tail! Help me! He's under there! I need help!
You're right. He could still be alive. On 3, we move this chunk of wall. All right?
Okay. 1,
2,
3!
He's dead. He's gone.
Dad? Dad? No! No!
He's gone. The mighty Finn has been defeated. But where's the hat? Where is it?
Dad, I'm so sorry I failed you. I should have been here. I shouldn't have been screwing around. Now you're gone. Everything you worked for. It's all over. It's all my fault.
Where is it? Where is it?
Stupid.
What?
What you desire awaits you. You must come over here. Find what you seek.
Where?
Look underneath. Help it get out and finish what was started.
I will. I don't believe it. It's complete. The Infinity Hat. The hat of my father. The hat of Nightmare. Finally, after all these years, after all these failures, my old man made a mistake. He thought he was doing good. He thought his sacrifice would stop me. But in the end, it only led to my upbringing. Those idiots, they mocked me. They defeated me. They looked at me like a fool. But today marks the day that I'll finally have my You fool! Why? You little bastard!
You're a traitor!
Your dad was weak! I knew he didn't have it in him. It was only a matter of time until he failed. I was only waiting.
I knew you couldn't have been trusted. He was scared of you. He knew you were bad news. But he trusted you anyway. I should have told him otherwise, before it was too late. For both of you.
You stupid kid. You realize what you've done? Now nobody can wield the hat. There's nobody left. We've lost. Finn lost. I've lost.
Dad, the hat, it's been completed. I have it.
Gil, use the band of regeneration. The orange one will heal him. Give him the hat.
Wait. Creepy disembodied voice is right. The hat. It might be able to heal him. Dad, don't worry. I'll heal you. I'll fix you.
Okay. I think I'm ready.
Me too. I think it's time. We need to finish this once and for all. Patience, you two. The others haven't arrived yet.
Wait, what? Others? What are you talking about, Dad?
What?
Huh? Michael? Shut up, Freddy. You're alive? No, I'm not alive. I'm dead. Wait. Did you die?
Wait. Am I dead? What? What? Dad?
Wait, William? Good. It's all coming together.
What the hell? Hey, Michael, what are you doing here? I think I got killed by... I think it was Gil. But Dad, what happened to you? It was the kid, Molten Freddy.
Oh no. He got you too. This is getting out of hand.
Wait, but if I'm dead, and you're all dead, how are we still talking to each other? And what are we doing here? Are we in heaven, or is this hell?
This isn't heaven or hell. I brought you all together.
Oh shit, you're here? This is definitely hell.
Listen, William. I know in the past we weren't exactly friends, but it's time to put those days behind us. We need to beat Finn, and the only way to do it is together.
I thought you were dead, Nightmare. What happened to splitting yourself into 5 people?
My body was split, yes, but my soul remained. Just like you. All your souls are here, while your bodies remain in Froki World.
So, is this like purgatory then?
You could say that.
Interesting. But if we're dead, what are we supposed to do against Finn?
Well, now that you're all here, you can use this as an opportunity to come up with a plan. A real plan.
Okay, and then what, genius? We're still dead.
I will split myself one more time. This time, splitting my soul. I will cease to exist, but it will bring you back to life. All that matters now is that you beat Finn. Finish what I started.
Well, then Dad, what's the plan?
Hold on, son. There's one more person we're waiting for. Oh, I think he's here.
Huh? What? What are you all looking at me for? Dad, there's something. Oh God, is there something behind me? Is it a bug? Oh God, don't tell me, I'm scared.
Yeah, there's definitely something behind you.
Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna look.
Hello.
Glitch Creeps? Is that you?
It is. Hello, everyone.
Glitch Creeps, you look so different.
I know. I tried to make myself look more human. I tried. I had these birds and it didn't work. I'm still a freak.
Wait, does that mean you died too?
I'm not dead, but I'm also not alive. My body, my physical form, it's mostly consumed by dead space. I'm able to exist in the afterlife, as well as the physical plane. It's a curse.
No, Glitch Creeps, it's a blessing. Because we need you. It is truly a miracle that you can be here with us today.
Nightmare, you need my help?
Wait, you know each other?
We do. I died so many times, it was only fate that we would eventually meet.
Ugh, God, my head.
I know I scared you. I know I'm a monster. An abomination.
You're not a freak, Glitch Creeps. But are you with us or against us?
I wanted to defeat Finn. I wanted to prove myself to you. That's why I did this. Of course, it didn't work.
Then it's not too late. We can work together. We can put those days behind us. Just like everyone else is.
You really mean it?
Of course we mean it, Glitch Creeps. You're one of us. You always have been. We just didn't know it yet. Then it's settled. It is now time to come up with a plan.
Okay. I'm ready.
What? Where am I?
Okay, so, what are we doing first?
What is that? It's me. And my brother. And my dad. What is going on? All right, everyone, listen up. There's something you all need to know about yourselves. There's something special that you can all do that you have in common.
Something we all have in common? What do you mean? We're all smart. We all died. What is it? Well, I wouldn't say we're all smart.
Hey, he's not dumb. Well, yeah. If anything, I'm the smarter one of the twins.
Hey, don't talk about Shadow Freddy that way. Oh, Michael. Getting a little defensive of Shadow Freddy, are you? Anything you'd like to tell us? What? I'm not defensive. I just... Wait, Michael, is there something you want to tell me? No. Nightmare, what were you saying?
Yeah. As I was saying, you all possess a special power. One that very few people own.
Wait, I got it! It's teleportation!
Oh, wait, you're right. I can teleport. So can I.
Me too.
Okay, I didn't want to be the last one to have to say it, but yes, I can teleport.
Okay, we can all teleport. So what?
You see, there is a prophecy.
Yeah, we've heard this one. The prophecy of great villainy. An evil tyrant gets 5 people who contain a special power, kills them, and they combine onto a hat. And then that evil tyrant receives the ultimate power.
Yes, that prophecy was about Finn. But there is another. The prophecy of heroes. The prophecy stated that in the time of crisis,
5 great minds would come together, all of which who shared one same power. They would use that power in unison and vanquish their greatest enemy.
Wow, bit dramatic, but okay. Are you sure that prophecy was talking about us? I mean, teleportation is cool, but it's not really a great power.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just gets you from place to place. The farthest I've ever teleported was across Froakie World. Beyond that, I don't even think it's possible. Yeah, there are limitations. I was trapped in the cryptic zone. Even though I can teleport, I couldn't leave the world.
And teleportation isn't a hostile ability. You can't use it to harm others, so how can we use it to fight Finn?
Well, there's another part to the prophecy. Well, it's not exactly a prophecy, but more of a theory.
Wait, I think I know what you're talking about.
Huh? Well then by all means, do share.
It's called a master teleport.
Master teleport? I recall reading something about this once.
Yes, you probably have. It's a scientific theory that if multiple people, all possessing the same ability to teleport, teleported together in unison, they would be able to travel across the stars, across universes.
Precisely, William.
But that's not it. It's also said that in between the teleporters, a vortex would be created, sucking everything in and teleporting it as well.
Huh. So, what are you saying then? We all surround Finn and teleport to the meat grinder dimension and he gets sucked in?
But Finn is powerful. He probably has all the bands at this point. He could just teleport away.
You're right, but that's up to you 3.
Huh?
You 3 are still in Froakie World right now. You need to try to get the hat off of Finn, while these 2 get back to the present. Oh shit, you're right. We're still in 2018.
And our time machines are gone and destroyed. We have no way of getting back.
That's true, William, but you're a smart guy. You've escaped harder scenarios before. I'm sure you can get out of this. Figure out a way to get back to the present.
You know what? You're right. I'm sure we can do that, right, buddy?
Yeah, sure. Okay, then that settles it. We will try our hardest to keep Finn distracted and get that hat off him. And you 2 try to get back to the present. And then when we're all together, we'll perform the master teleport. All right, good, but don't forget. You all need to be there to perform the master teleport properly. If even one of you is missing, it won't work. So do not die. Do whatever you have to do to survive.
Do whatever we have to do.
All right, I'm sure we can do that.
Wait, there's one thing I don't know yet. Where are we going to be teleporting Finn?
Well, there is one place.
Yes. I think I'm thinking exactly what you are.
It will be a satisfying ending to the failure that was Finn the Shark. Then it is settled. I will now split my soul one more time. You will all be free. You will all be alive once again. Just finish the plan. Stop Finn and bring peace to Froakie World.
We won't let you down, Mr. Nightmare.
It has been an honor, sir.
It has. And my sons, I'm so grateful to have been able to speak to you one more time. And while this may be our last, I will always live on in your hearts. You will, Dad. We'll never forget you. I love you, Golden Freddy. Don't you forget it. I won't. I will make sure your legacy lives on. And you too, Shadow Freddy. You were always there to stand up to evil. Even in the time of crisis, you never backed down. You were brave and kind-hearted.
Yeah, well, sometimes it feels like those qualities don't get you anywhere.
No, Shadow Freddy. Those qualities make you who you are. Never change.
You really mean it?
Yes, son. But even when I'm gone, I have a feeling you will not be alone. There will be others who love you for who you are.
Thank you. I love you, Dad. You really were the best.
I love you too, son. And with that, we must get going.
There's no time to spare. I have a feeling the 6 of you will not let me down.
Goodbye, nightmare.
Goodbye, Dad.
Wait, did you say 6 of us? And that's it. So long, Froakie World. No!
Dad? Dad!
Now, I know that was a lot of information, so it's time to explain why I cut all that from the final draft of the movie. First of all, I didn't really like the idea of Gil having, like, any emotional connection to Finn. I felt like Gil and Finn were just so stupid of characters and one-note villains that it didn't make sense to try to integrate this, like, oh, Dad, I'm so sorry, it's all my fault. Like, Gil would never say that. Gil does not care about Finn, and Finn does not care about Gil. They're both just stupid, heartless villains who do whatever the hell they want, and all they care about is turning everything into a Finn. And so I'm kind of glad I cut that part. That being said, I didn't hate the idea of Finn dying by Daryl's explosion and then getting brought back by the Band of Regeneration. I just felt like Gil's involvement with it ruined it. I also didn't love how Daryl Labs looked blown up. I felt like it needed more rubble and it was just like random like electronic items and stuff. That being said, this destroyed Daryl Labs took way longer to clean up than the one that I actually used in the movie. Man, it was so hard to clean up. It was really annoying. Also, the idea of all our main characters dying off towards the beginning of the movie so that they could meet up in the afterlife with Nightmare to come up with a plan is an idea I still do kind of like. However, I felt like the plan idea that I had just didn't make sense when you started to think about it for more than 2 seconds. The Master Teleport was going to be used to teleport Finn to the Cryptic Zone to kind of complete the Cryptic Zone storyline of a villain getting defeated and then banished to the Cryptic Zone. However, it didn't really make sense when you think about it. Glitch Creeps was able to teleport Golden Freddy to the Cryptic Zone all by himself back during Happiest Day Reset. So why would they need all of these characters to do it just to teleport Finn? They even said in the scene that Finn wasn't going to have the hat when they teleport him there. So why was everyone going to be needed for that? Honestly, I couldn't really come up with a good idea, like a plan that all of these characters could do because of a power they had in common. And the Master Teleport was what I ended up coming up with. But after thinking about it, I was like, this just doesn't really work. And it's such a long scene of exposition. It wasn't scripted either. I honestly felt like this scene just added so much length to an already long movie, or at least what was going to be a long movie, and I was like, just screw this whole plan thing, which, by the way, this wasn't even how they were going to end up defeating Finn in the final cut of the movie. The way they were going to defeat Finn is actually similar to how it was in the final battle, the one you watched a week ago. So this just whole plan thing, this whole sequence was just a waste of time, and it didn't need to be part of the movie at all. Now, the ending scene with Finn getting brought back by the Band of Regeneration is pretty cool, but like I said, I felt like it was stupid that Gil was the one to do this. Gil is so stupid of a character. He does not have any emotional impact. Anyway, I do kind of like the idea of the Band of Regeneration being used to bring Finn back. I do have a regret that I wish I showed the powers of the bands a little bit more in the movie itself, but it's kind of an afterthought at this point, and I don't think it really needed to be part of the movie anymore. Also, it's important noting that even though these scenes themselves may seem fun and may seem like a cool movie, the rest of the movie that was going to happen after these scenes was just complete bonkers. It made no sense, and it was just adding shit onto adding shit. The Master Teleport didn't come back. Finn being killed didn't really work because then he was just gonna end up doing the exact same shit he did in Infinity War Part 3 by just murdering people with Tyrone and just endless fight scenes. And honestly, guys, I realized after a while that having constant fight scenes doesn't actually make a good story. What makes a good story is good characters and good dialogue and having a clean arc for all your main characters, and that's what I really ended up honing in on by the end. So even though this draft of the movie didn't end up happening, some of these scenes are fun to watch. Oh, and one last thing, the biggest regret I have with these scenes is that I cut my Finn plush in half. I literally cut half his face off just for the scene where he's dead and comes back to life. And man, that was a huge regret, because I don't know if any of you know how hard it is to find this exact Finn plush in Aftermarket. It is one of the rarest plushies, I swear, one of the rarest plushies you can find. It's rarer than Fredbear, Sanchi Fredbear. It's rarer than Shadow Freddy, Golden Freddy. Those are just expensive plushies. This is a rare plushie. You can literally not find any listings of this Finn plush anywhere online. I'm including a picture of his tags right here, just so you know what the exact plush is if you want to try to find one. Good luck, because it is literally impossible. And if you want to know why that's the case, I have no idea. I don't know why this Finn is so rare, but it is. So good luck finding another Finn. But I regret cutting mine so badly because of that. I never should have done it. I will cut any rare plush for a video, except for something like this. Except for one that you literally can't find.
Yours is the most important element of all.
Okay, hit me with it.
Your elemental power is green.
What's that?
Green.
Now let's take a second to talk about these cursed character screens that appeared throughout the movie randomly, specifically the ages on characters. I've heard a lot of feedback from fans and friends alike that people don't think these ages make any sense. And after thinking about it, after seeing all the feedback, yeah, you guys are right about some of these. However, I have reasonings for all of them. Let's talk about it. So the main thing I wanted to make sure I got right is that by the time this scene rolls around, I wanted to make sure that Shadow Freddy and Michael ended up the exact same age. The reason is because I wanted them to live happily ever after with the same age so that there was no question about any sort of weird age gap or anything like that, especially because the time travel stuff got confusing. I wanted to make it clear that Michael is a time traveler, and all the times that he's around with Shadow Freddy, they're basically the same age, give or take a year or two. That's why I had present Michael be 22, so that past Michael is 20 when 20-year-old Shadow Freddy goes back in time to be with him. Now, that made sense in my brain, however, a lot of people pointed out that it's really weird that Shadow Freddy and Golden Freddy are only 20 years old. A lot of people expected them to be like old men by this point in the series. I never expected them to be old, but I do get where the sentiment came from. By this point in the series, they've lived through long, hard lives, and you'd expect that this would kind of be the final chapter, not that they're just beginning their adult lives. But I still have a lot of stuff planned with Golden Freddy, and I didn't want his life to be like basically over. Also, they needed to be a lot younger than Fredbear. Speaking of Fredbear, a couple people noticed that in the punished Fredbear loading screen, it's said that Fredbear is 39 years old. However, when you go to Nightmare's loading screen, he's also 39 years old. A lot of people were confused because Nightmare and Fredbear are supposed to be twins, and how could present-day Fredbear be the same age as his brother was when his brother died like a while back?
The answer for this is that this was an honest mistake. I genuinely meant to make Fredbear older in his loading screen. That one is genuinely just a mistake. They're supposed to be the same age. Now, let's talk about the younger characters, specifically Molten Freddy and Scrap Baby. I made them both 17 years old. A lot of people were surprised by this because in older videos, I've implied that the school characters are in like elementary school and they're somewhere between like 10 and 13 years old. To be honest with you, I've never had like an established age in my brain. However, back then I've probably said ages. A lot of stuff I said in older videos was kind of just me making stuff up as I went, and this movie was my attempt at establishing proper ages for going forward. Now, this is going to be a slight spoiler for my planned Season 3, but I'm willing to say it in this video, so maybe you guys have some context. I was hoping that in Season 3, all of the school kid characters would start going to college, and we would have this whole arc of them being young adults now, and living in the real world, and having to kind of upgrade from the school life that we've always seen them in. But after hearing all the feedback and people not understanding how the ages work and me sort of soft retconning the ages of characters, it kind of just dawned to me that I was like, if I wanted to do that, why didn't I just do a time skip at the beginning of Season 3 and just skip to present day where all the characters are older? To be honest with you, I do kind of wish I did that, and having to explain the ages and just makes it more complicated, and it makes me kind of just wish I never did these age confirmations to begin with. So I guess I'll just leave it up to you guys. Does any of that stuff make sense? And what do you think of the official ages? Should we retcon them? Should we not? I don't like to retcon things. I feel like it's lame to retcon something you literally just set up, but I do kind of see where people are coming from. Or guys, I've got the solution. Maybe we can say that all the ages we saw in the final battle was actually William Afton breaking the fourth wall and writing his own fanfiction about FNAF 6 Plush, and he was just aging the characters how he thought they would be, but it's not actually canon, and the official ages will be revealed next season. Yeah, I'm coping because I wish I could undo it now.